All right, welcome to another episode. Today I'm here with
Day12 from Brampton, and I make indie and alternative R&B.
Nice. So we want to hear is what is your origin story? Where did the name Day12 come from? Like, how did this come to begin? Like, what inspired you to become an artist?
Of course, man. In terms of the name, I don't think I can really tell that right now.
Okay. We'll keep it a secret.
I'm saving that for a certain moment, whether it be like my next show or something like that. Trying to figure out when I should actually put that origin story out there, but stay tuned. In terms of how I got inspired to become an artist, I think it was just something I was always kind of raised up doing. Like my sister was in the church choir, so she was like the lead singer there. So she told me, pick up guitar and stuff like that. So I was kind of playing guitar behind her. And I was just raised in a pretty musically rich environment, diverse environment.
So when you were a kid, what were you listening to? What was your inspiration for a guitar? Were you listening to rock bands, or was it just?
Nah, a lot of different stuff. We had this big sound system at home. So my mom would always just put on it would be different stuff but mainly a lot of it was classical Indian music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm Indian, South Indian. So yeah, a lot of classical Indian music, and then just kind of a lot of gospel and stuff like that. But just kind of seeing my sister on the stage, I kind of wanted to do the same thing. But at the time, I wasn't singing, so it was just guitar for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I picked up guitar. Yeah.
When did you start singing? What age? You said 14 was the guitar, and then when did you realize?
So 14, and then I started singing around 7. So pretty much when I moved out to uni, I went to Guelph. I couldn't attend church of course because I moved out there. So that's kind of when I just started songwriting and stuff like that. And then kind of singing and finding my own voice. So since then, about 17, 18, around there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So when you finally moved out, that's when you sort of came out of your shell a little bit? Would you say how you say it?
Yeah, 100%.
Sick. All right, so let's talk about your music. For example, Child of Two Halves, the EP that you came out with recently, where does that inspiration come from, and what spawned the whole EP?
Exactly. So with the EP, A Child of Two Halves, it's pretty much a conversation to myself just about becoming more than the sum of two halves. That's the ending of the EP. It comes with that. But the conversation just it touches on a lot of things. I grew up in a very broken home. I grew up with an abusive father, physically and emotionally. So I think in terms of navigating that and seeing, okay, how do I grow from this? How do I become something how do I become different from something that I've seen? Because a lot of people say apple doesn't fall far from the tree and all that stuff. I think the EP is just a conversation to myself about overcoming that, So we talk about a lot of things, how to deal with love, how to deal with a relationship, how to deal with the influences in your life, and how to navigate friendships, fear, doubt, a lot of things like that. So the EP, yeah, man, it touches on a lot of things, but
no, I hear that. It's great.
Yeah.
In the sense that you're trying to improve upon yourself. An apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and you're trying to fall far away from the tree and learn from the mistakes and become somebody better, right?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing about this is it's understanding that it's a process. Even right now, the work that I'm putting out and the vulnerability that I'm allowed to give, it's only this much right now. You know what I mean? And understanding that process is always ongoing. Whatever it may do with me, with my art, you with exactly what you're doing with this. It's a process, and the best thing to do is allow your most vulnerable self at the moment, allow that to shine through. So
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so we did a little bit of digging. We saw that you graduated from Seneca IMP, Independent Music Program, right?
Yep.
So how do you think that has helped you become an independent artist, or if it helped you at all?
No, it was a very beautiful program, a very all-encompassing program, but it was a very, very tough program too. I think that was the biggest thing. It's competitive. It's 20 artists per semester when they get in, so you have to apply, you have to put all your songs through, do this whole application process. It's a long thing, but it taught me a lot of the sides of music that I didn't almost want to learn. A lot of the music business, marketing, stuff like that. A lot of introspective, introvert artists just kind of want to make music and can I swear?
Yeah.
Can I just make music and fuck off? You know what I mean? So, yeah, in terms of that, it was very eye-opening in that sense. Yeah.
Okay. No, that sounds great. And clearly it has helped you because you recently came out with Day12, Day12 EP release album. Let's talk about that real quick. How is that do it? What were your thoughts before and during the show?
Okay, there's a lot I could definitely say about the show, but it was, I'm very proud of the show, first of all. It was something that I set out to do at the start of the year, and like there's like 3 big goals I had, and that was one of them. So being able to do that show and having it sell out and having it perform as well as it did, and the fans come up after and be like, yo, we can't wait for the next Day12 and stuff like that. That was a very surreal moment. In terms of my feelings going into it, there's a lot of a lot of things out of my control that kind of like, you know, pissed me off. Even on that day, it was snowing. That was the first day of snow. That was the first day of snow for some reason.
It was heavy too, I think.
Of course, yeah, it was heavy, and the GO trains were canceled. And you know, I'm from Brampton. The show was in Toronto, so like getting all those people to Toronto with no GO trains and all that stuff, you know, it was, it showed me like the support I have under me, you know.
Yeah,
that was a big thing.
Because they still came through, right?
Exactly. You know, so yeah, man, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful show. There's gonna be definitely more. Day12 2 is coming. Day12 2 is coming.
Speaking of like shows, one question that we always ask everyone is like, what is your pre-show ritual, if you have any?
My pre-show ritual, it's the same as my recording rituals, honestly. Like I think it's a bad thing, but I be popping halls, like, you know, the menthol.
Oh yeah.
So like I just pop halls and then drink tea. Chantal makes me my tea, and then yeah, just a quick prayer, man. Like that's the main thing, you know. Just keeping in the faith with it as well. Yeah.
Staying like down to earth.
Exactly.
Just calming yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, going back to A Child Is Two Halves. Every song there is a must-listen song, but if you had to pick one to hook somebody into the album, what would be that one song you would tell them, say, hey, this is the one that you gotta listen to?
Okay, so I'm gonna take 2 perspectives on it. I'm gonna say, you know, if you're just a casual listener, I'll give you one, and then if you're like, you know, kind of more like a lyrical listener or like just kind of introspective at heart, then I'll give you that one too. So for the casual listener, I'll definitely say Wounds Tattoos. That's like a very fun song to make. Like me and my homie Jared, like that's my engineer, my producer and all that stuff. So like we just kind of cooked that up like right in the studio, like on the spot. We cooked it up in like an hour, and then as soon as we played the beat, I was like, okay, I need to do something over this. So then boom, we got into the studio, banged that one out. That's a very fun song. Just in terms of like what we're doing with vocal inflections and layers and all that stuff, is a very fun listen. A lot of people tell me they like that song.
Okay.
And then in terms of the actual like thesis of the project, and I think the most the most versatile and dynamic song on the project, it would definitely be A Child Is, which is the one that we just kind of recorded and performed over there. So it'd definitely be that one, man. I think a lot went into it, a lot of revisions, a lot of like taking in and out, seeing like what we should do with the song, how do we transform it into a certain way. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like those answers.
Yeah.
With Child Is, you're gonna see in the performance, but it was very layered and very dynamic.
I appreciate that.
So yeah, absolutely great answers. All right, so we'll switch over to fun questions. Do you have any hot takes about the state of music right now?
State of music right now. I think, hot takes for the state of music. Let me think.
Yeah.
I would say, I hate the speed at which music is processed by fans. You know
what do you
I
mean?
So I think like a lot of songs now are kind of made just for a moment, or just for a clip, or just for a TikTok hit or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's
and
a
I
great point.
think a lot of the times artists and fans aren't really thinking about the longevity of a project, the like actually honoring the art, and being like true to the art form in that sense. You know, a lot of times it's like, you know what? I'm gonna throw some shots, man. Like, you know, like that Doechii song, Anxiety. Like that's just a clip song, man. That's not real art, man. I'm gonna be honest, but she's a good artist though. She has some good ass songs, but you could tell like certain music is just kind of made for something.
You still be down to feature her, right? If she asked you.
Oh, of course. She's an amazing artist, but just that one song.
That one song.
I don't like it.
I disagree. I actually love that song, but
You like that song?
I get where you're coming from, though. I get where you're coming from.
I just think that song was made for a certain moment rather than for the art.
It's all about clip farming nowadays.
Exactly.
And then another hot take question here is, since you're from Brampton, we're out here in Brampton. Give us a hot take about Brampton.
Okay. I'm gonna say 2 things again. First thing is, Brampton is a good place, man. I'm telling you, everyone's hating on Brampton. It's actually dope. It's very dope. You know, you came out, you see the nice light. You're gonna see the video. You're gonna see the shot, and people are gonna be commenting, "Yo, where's that at? Where's that at?" It's in Brampton, man. Stop hating on Brampton. And then second thing is, I definitely hope to see like the arts community in Brampton kind of grow more out of being a closed circle. Like there's like a lot of artists that I'll talk to and stuff like that, and they're very helpful and very collaborative. But I feel like sometimes it almost seems like a closed circle you're trying to force yourself into, rather than, I think art is very collaborative, and it should be like just initially, like off rip, it should be. But the one thing that kind of counters that is that art usually comes from very introverted people, right?
Yeah.
So naturally you can close off, but in terms of when you're making art, the best thing to do is collaborate and push that narrative further. So I think in terms of with Brampton, like the infrastructure just has to kind of be built more for art and music, because I think in Toronto it's very lively. In other places I don't know, I haven't really explored any other places, but I think Brampton, we can definitely work on the infrastructure for music. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, those are good answers. I don't know the state of Brampton music, but you're giving me your perspective. So
yeah, no, there's a lot of dope artists here, man. But it's just the support from communities and stuff like that that can be raised, to a higher standard.
As the year comes to an end, I think you already talked about it, but what other moments were you proud of in 2025?
Honestly, this year has been like very monumental. I think leading up to Dayfest. Like 6 months before Dayfest was the first time I really performed. So I performed my original songs and all that stuff. So having that amount of support come into my show and selling out and all that stuff all within 6 months, and I felt like I'm not even close to my potential in terms of that, in terms of performing, in terms of like whatever it means in terms of artistry. I think seeing that quick of a growth and quick of a support group kind of upholding me was amazing. In terms of my most proud moment, it's at the end of Dayfest, like when I did my last song, and then I kind of look out into the crowd, and sold out crowd and everything. Everyone had their flashlights up, vibing, and then at the end they kind of just chant Day12, Day12. That was like very surreal, And as soon as I seen that moment and internalized it, I was like, yeah, I need to do this for the rest of my life on bigger stages, bigger crowds, bigger fans, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it definitely will happen. It's just a matter of when,
exactly,
not if.
Exactly.
Another question that we ask everybody is, stuck on an island, iPod Nano, you can only have 5 artists. You can have all their projects in there, but it's just 5 artists. Who's going to be in an iPod Nano?
Okay. I know my first 3 off rip, and then I'm going to have to fill in the last 2. But these albums are all classics to me, so definitely Frank Ocean for sure. Sampha is like one of my biggest inspirations as well. And then my third one would be Bon Iver.
Oh,
yeah, I fuck with him.
That's like a
yeah,
way
Justin
off rip
Vernon
that we've never heard anybody say that before.
Justin Vernon is so dope, man. Very intricate artist. My other 2, if I'm slotting it in that this is all I can listen to for the rest, then I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna throw Drake in there, just because the versatility, everything like that, and you got a lot of projects, so you won't really get bored. My 5th spot though. I'm gonna say another Toronto artist. Mustafa?
Yeah,
Mustafa the poet. He's a beautiful artist, man. And we actually met him at Indigo one time.
Oh yeah?
We talked.
How was that like?
That's dope, man. He's very chill guy, and he's tall as hell too. You're like 6'2", 6'3", but yeah.
Okay. No, I think that's a solid top 5 list. No one's gonna hate on that.
Very chill music, and then we got Drake in there.
And you got a different variety too. All right, 2026 is around the corner. Is there anything that we should be looking forward to? Any projects you're coming out with, or any shows that you're doing in the near future?
The biggest thing that I'm gonna say for Day12 and for 2026 is just more. There's gonna be more music. There's gonna be more shows, more performances, more everything, more streams. We're gonna get everything up. I think that's the biggest thing. Dayfest 2 is coming. Stay tuned for that. It might be here in Brampton. It might be out in Saga. But it's gonna be somewhere, and it's gonna be bigger, man. That's the biggest thing.
All right, sick, man. Great to have you here.
Of course. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming out. Very, very deep. Deep trip.